Welcome everybody to this edition of Renegades Reviews. I am the Renegade J.J. Williams, here to bring you my thoughts on yet another motion picture. This one actually one that is currently in theaters as we speak. You can go see it now at your local Cineplex. It is the movie Pixels, starring Adam Sandler, Kevin James, and Josh Gad. The synopsis is: when aliens misinterpret video feeds of classic arcade games as a declaration of war, they attack the Earth in the form of those video games. I thought this was a very fun movie about video games and video game culture. I would rank it up there with Wreck-It Ralph and The Wizard, the 1989, I want to say, movie starring Fred Savage. Adam Sandler does what he does best in this movie, and that is play the loser that just so happens to have the specific skill that is needed to save the day. In this particular movie, obviously it's video game knowledge. Sandler's character of Sam Brenner was a 1982 video game champion in Pac-Man, and his best friend was Kevin James's character, who grows up to be the President of the United States, President Will Cooper. James is good in his role as the President, who just so happened to be Sandler's friend growing up. You know, it's not a bumbling idiot role for Kevin James like most of his movies, like Paul Blart. He actually plays it a little bit on the serious side, but with some still comedic overtones. Josh Gad, though, is just stellar in his sidekick role as the Wonder Kid, Ludlow Lamonsoff. He's a conspiracy theorist, best friend of Sam Brenner and Will Cooper. I thoroughly enjoyed him in this movie. I expect to see him pop up in future Sandler movies, perhaps replacing the void left by Rob Schneider. For whatever reason, Schneider and Sandler aren't working together that much anymore. I think I heard somewhere that there was a falling out around the time of Grown Ups 2. If that is the case, I could definitely see Josh Gad kind of taking that place in Sandler's movies and just being that pop-up character. The soundtrack on this film was equally awesome, being as how the premise of it was 80s. You had a lot of good 80s rock songs. The two that really stand out to me were Surrender by Cheap Trick and Josh Gad's karaoke performance of Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears. But I think what really stands out here the most is the classic video game element. You know, so many video games today are high-tech, CGI, shooter games, RPGs, and the fact that they went back to the 80s and used the classic video games in this one in the form of like Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, Galaga, Centipede. I thought that was a really nice touch for those of us older generation kids that would probably end up having to take their kids who are to the more modern video games now to go see this movie. It made it a little bit more relatable to us. There's even some cameos in the big battle sequence by Tetris, Paperboy, Burger Time, Frogger, Mario, Q*bert, the dog from Duck Hunt, and so many others. This is a movie that I just might have to plop down the money for and see a second or even a third time just to see if I catch any other references that I may have missed. What do you guys think? Have you guys seen Pixels yet? Leave your comments in the comment box below. Leave your suggestions as to what movies you'd like to see me review next or listen to me review next below. Tweet them to me at ROWJJ You can also request my movie list there. Let me know what you guys think. Until tomorrow, I am the Renegade J.J. Williams, and I will talk to you next time here on the Casa D18 Studios channel.